Hello, this is Beta Ray Ben for Pixel Spank, and welcome to viewer feedback. That's the one. I've got a couple of comments and questions and such from the past week, 2 weeks, month, something around that amount. Thought I'd go through it in a video because it fills up a slot. First question, Friendly Broski asks, what camera have you got? It looks dank. Not exact words. And the camera I have got is that one. Can't show it, obviously. Unless I use the mirror or a different camera. Anyway, it's a Panasonic HC-VX870. So there's that. I don't know much about cameras. Seemed alright, so I brought it. That was Friendly Broski. Friend of the channel, I would say. Thanks for that comment. Next up, the Bloodstained Kickstarter from MTG AREC, who I used to call Mount Gayrek. So it turns out it's Magic the Gathering. Huge mix-up. Anyway, he wanted to know whether I'd seen the Bloodstained Kickstarter and what I thought of it. I had seen it, and it looks intriguing, don't get me wrong. I'm a little hesitant about a lot of sort of game developers breaking away from publishers and saying, I know what the people want, here's what the people want, and then going to make it. In theory, it should be a great idea and it should work, but in practice, will it? Time will tell, because I feel publishers get a lot of stick when they rightfully deserve it, but at the same time, without them, a lot of games wouldn't get made. If you give a game developer an unlimited budget and say, make the game you want to make, it will take forever and probably never come out. So, you know, on the fence about that. But on the other hand, I'd love more Castlevania, old Castlevania. None of that new one. Was it Lords of Shadow? I don't want any of that. And I don't want that DS game they put out, which got my hopes up thinking it was going to be a proper Castlevania. Then it just wasn't. So I like the idea of the Bloodstained game, but I'm not backing it on Kickstarter for the reasons I just mentioned, because I'll buy it, don't get me wrong, I won't pirate it. So that was MTG AREC. Thanks for your comment. Next up, Chris Bibbo, friend of the channel. You know, anyone who's on here, probably a friend of the channel. I might stop saying that after saying it twice. Chris Bibbo asks, what chair did you get after I mentioned I'd gotten a new chair? Hopefully there's now an image of the chair on screen. It is this chair. If there is no image of that, it's not that chair. So that's the chair. It's nothing special. I got it. There was a warehouse was being demolished. Had an office section. I took what I needed. Also got some other nice stuff. There's a box down there. I can see I got that. It's got a massive Ethernet cable in it. I think it's about 100 foot long. So don't know when I'm going to use it, but I like having it. Next up, Samus Mudo asks, well, this wasn't a question, but it technically was it was a question with no question mark, if you catch my meaning. She, I've always assumed it's a she, not sure if it is, said, have you considered streaming? Yes and no at the same time. Yes, I've considered streaming. No, I can't do it. Now, here's why. My internet is terrible. It's not even broadband by a lot of actual definitions. I think I average between 0.5 and 1 megabyte download speed, which is terrible. I get 1 megabyte upload speed, which is surprisingly good, weirdly. So I can't really be doing any kind of streaming for those reasons. I would like to do it, but to be honest, even if I had the internet, I don't know if I wouldn't do it consistently. Like YouTube, I can do that easy. I can do a couple of videos one day and then not do some another day when I've got work or whatever. But with streaming, I feel like I'd be trying to do it every night, and you know, it would start becoming a job, which is what I don't want it to be. So you know, it's this and that on that. But at the same time, people make a lot of money on Twitch, so there are pros and cons. That's very hard to do. And finally, I just want to give a shout out to Super Fist Cake, fellow YouTuber. Now, back in the day, not a lot of people know this, but when I started doing the D20 challenge, there were 2 reasons I did it. One, I really wanted to play Fallout, and I felt I needed a good excuse. And then I started the channel. I was like, I should play Fallout on the channel. I need a hook though, so I was like, I brought the dice mechanic in, and I got the idea for that from. Have you ever heard of a Nuzlocke challenge out of Pokemon? I think it's only Pokemon people do it. Basically, it's kind of it's a way of playing the game that makes it much harder, and for some people more fun, and it's just a different experience. And I thought, yeah, the first person who did that makes sense. It's their thing. I don't want to do that because it's someone else's thing. I want to make my own thing. So that's why I came up with the idea of the D20 challenge. I gave it a name, and I made it so it could theoretically apply to more than one game. That was key. I didn't put my name in the name in any place. That was a mistake because that way it could spread out and live past me. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So Super Fist Cake. Oh, God, I can't even say it. Super Fist Cake. Got it that time. He's doing his own D20 challenge in Fallout. He's doing it in A Tale of Two Wastelands, which is essentially Fallout 3 plus Fallout New Vegas. So I think you start in Fallout 3, you do all of that, and then you go on to New Vegas. Basically, it's a way of keeping your character throughout, and I think that some of the loot and that carries across. I'm not 100%, but I think that's the gist of it. So he's doing that, so go ahead and check him out. It's a similar affair. And I think that's about it for this episode, unless I could do a surprise unboxing while I'm here. Yeah.